Hi, this is Rich, and I'm going to carry on with my work on VM Maestro, the VIRL orchestration tool. I installed the VIRL yesterday, not really done anything with it yet, and I understand that one of the first things I should do is update the list of node types that I have. This is the list currently, and I believe that if you connect to the server, the VIRL server itself, you can get a bunch more. So node subtypes, this is what I have. As shown on the left, on the right there, left there, sorry. And I believe I can fetch from server. This should give me an updated list from the file server itself. There we go. Okay. All right. Yeah, there's much more. So I guess this must get updated every time the version of VIRL updates. Maybe Cisco add more and more products, node subtypes, and so on. Because up until recently, the iOS layer 2 image, I know that wasn't available. Okay, good stuff. Okay, so I use a few learning resources, and INE have been with me for a long time now. I think I originally started with IP Expert, and I still use IP Expert. But INE, the guys that I've been using the most. I subscribe to that like monthly all access pass thing. It's really quite good. The guys do some good videos on that, and they're a regular update, so it's quite nice. But anyway, that said, I'm trying to do the CCIE Service Provider version 4. That's my next challenge. I'm going to use VIRL to help me get some practical experience in that field, and INE have created a VIRL topology to go with their SPv4 workbook. So I'm going to just go now through this and make sure that I've got everything I need. I already went ahead and created the subtype. There's a new device that they need called CSR 1000V No Management. It's part of their topology. So there's a document here that talks you through how to do it. You import the JSON object into the VIRL server, and then you update the node types just like we did earlier. So I'll just fire up Maestro and I'll show you the node type list now. But it was quite a painless task. I opened up the in fact, I can show you where it was. It was under node registration, subtypes. This is the new one that was added. To add it, I clicked on import, and I pasted the text from the document, which was here. I just did a copy and paste on that. I said import, and then under subtypes I saw the new type, which was, as I showed just before, and this loads this one. It does go further and talk about changing the amount of memory associated with that image. Its default is 3 gig. I think I read 3 gig, and you can change that if you want, but I don't need to. I've got a lot of RAM, so we'll just leave that as it was. I think if you've got less RAM, then you can change that. And then under Maestro itself, just like before, VM Maestro preferences, node subtypes, you just run an update on that. You click fetch from server, and then you get the new one added to the list, which is there. So that's the same device as the one that was in the web page. Okay, so you are where I am, and the next step in the process is to import their VIRL topology. I already downloaded it. It's on this page. You click on resources here, and then you can save this file. It gives you a zip file. You extract the zip file, and you get two topologies. One says VIRL topology or something like that, and the other one says VIRL topology with configurations. So I've got both. I don't think it tells me what to import. It just says just do the import. So we'll do that. Now here we go. So we are my folders now. So import topology file from local file system because I'm on my laptop. I'll just browse for where I saved it, which I think was in here. I know it was in here, and it's going to be this one. So I think the pre-configs must have, I don't know, must have something in it. Anyway, the point is, that's the one I'm going to import, so let's just finish that. And now under my topologies, I should have the topology. If I double click that, then it loads it into here. Very good. I don't know what that is. Or even have to get rid of it. Anyway, here's the topology files. There we go. Let me zoom that out so we can see it. Alright. And I noticed that all of these routers has a connection to a flat interface. A flat's like cloud. And from what I've read, this flat interface is connected to the flat network on the ESX host that we built yesterday, that I built yesterday. So on the ESX node itself, if you recall, we had a flat 1 int and SNAT network, or port group as you would, plus the management. So the management is what I'm using to configure the VIRL host right now, but the other ones were added. And I believe that this flat port group is connected to each of these clouds. And when the network topology fires up, each of these flat interfaces is configured with an IP address. So R1, for example, its gig 4 interface will receive an IP address in a subnet, and all of these devices get an IP address in the same subnet, which then means I can, or you can, telnet and SSH just basically manage each device like it was in an out-of-band management, like you would in your network. For example, you'd have an inline network where you'd have real-time traffic and all your stuff goes on, and then for you as a network administrator, you have a separate network, your management network, which you only use to manage the devices. And I believe that's what this is. Okay, so that's the topology imported. Let's start that. Now, I believe this will take some time. I don't know how long. I really don't know at all. So I guess it's a waiting game, is it? So let me go over to the laptop, and then I had some performance things running before. I just had a few nodes, and I did fire it up. This is the result of the last one, and then I just killed it so we could make the video. But I expect some sort of similar profile. Now we're doing it again. Although right now it's not doing a great deal. Oh, there we go. So it must be starting some of the nodes because the CPU's started to go a bit crazy. Let's see what memory allocation is doing. Alright, so this must have been from before. In fact, it doesn't look like it's relinquished anything. What's granted and consumed? Since I fired it up last for that trial, it doesn't seem to have relinquished any of that. It's just not being actively used. Okay, well I expect that should start rising soon. Select the CPU. Okay, so the CPUs are going crazy now. In fact, they're maxed out right now. And all I'm doing is starting the nodes. Oh, they've gone green. Green's good. Still have no output from this. I wonder if I can connect to more than one. Let's do this. Oh, there we go. I've got some output now. Well, I really should have checked the clock to see what time I started that and how long it took to get to that point in time. The CPU's still absolutely nailed, isn't it? From an active RAM point of view, though, only it looks like 20. What is that saying? 6.5 gig is allocated. Is active, sorry. The CPU is nailed. This is still booting. Okay, so the topology is running, and it's been stable for a little while. I've left it running for a little while. This is what the CPU is doing. Remember, these nodes are doing nothing. They're just on, so they're doing nothing, and we're quite busy. And the memory profile looks like that. So this is with all the nodes up and running. Seem to be around about, what is that? 10 meg of active RAM and 10 gig of active RAM and 49 gig of granted RAM access. So it's just consumed basically everything that I told it could have. I guess if we could told it had more, then it could have had more. But in the configuration of the server, I think under the machine, if I remember rightly yesterday, we allocated 48. In fact, no wait, no, that's not it. Resource allocation. We allocated 48 gig of RAM to this thing. Memory, yeah. So 48 gig was allocated, and under the resources tab, we told it to reserve it all entirely. So as soon as the machine booted up, it started to consume that. So that's where that is. Now I wanted to edit the terminal. So I want to be able to restart. I want to be able to reach these things using a terminal as we would normally use, like Telnet or SSH and so on. And I can use I'd use a serial cable, right, on a physical device. I'd console onto it, or I could SSH onto it and Telnet to it across a network. Now the networks, as we've already been through, is these flat thingies. I'm not going to access it through that just right now. I'm going to use the console, and I'm going to use my VM Maestro application. So under preferences, under terminal, Cisco terminal, I can use an external terminal application. Now I've got ZOC and Secure CRT on this machine. I like ZOC, so these are the commands that I've gleaned from various websites on the internet to help me make something that works for me. I'm just going to paste these in. It took a while to get this to work. So it does actually do a sanity check to see if the binary that you're pasting in here exists. If your binary does not exist in that location, it will not accept it. For example, if I had ZOC6, I would choose that to ZOC6. I do not have ZOC6, and it can't find it, so I have ZOC7. Now it works. Let's try and connect to all of these devices. Now how do I do that? How do I connect to them all at the same time? No. Okay. Okay. So now I see all the devices. Can I highlight them all? Right click, Telnet to console ports. Oh my goodness. Well, it's not open tabs, has it, for a start? And it's died. let's not do that again. ZOC died. Alright, let's just try one then. Okay. So it can do one. That's good to know. And now what happens if I do another one? It opens up again. Alright, well that's not what I want. Oh no. No, hold on. Okay, so now I've got one answer. Well, what happened before? Let's try that again. Yes, I want to close. Alright, let's try them all. Telnet. It seems to load all ZOC processes and then collapse them all and then crash. That's awful. Let's do one, then do two, then do three. Okay, well, so I should have 5 tabs now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which I do. Well, that's goodness. What was wrong with the other one? Why does it? I guess maybe it's too much for it to handle. It doesn't know what to do. Oh well, very good. What I do see is it has an IP address here, and this is the IP that's been allocated to the device, possibly in its configuration from the INE boys. Let's have a look for that. 172. Oh, just the host name. No, there we go, DHCP. So the management interface, which is connected to the device off this flat network, is getting an IP address from DHCP service, which I assume must be running inside the VIRL topology itself, because I don't have a DHCP service on that. Well, that is interesting. Okay, but anyway, that's good to know. So if you've got Zark, then you've probably got problems opening all these console ports, unless you know something I don't about how to fix that. I can do it one by one, but doing them all at once is no good. Okay, well, we got somewhere there. We've got the application running, we got the topology imported from INE, topology is loaded, running on the VIRL host. Here's the VIRL host. It's been running for what's that, about 25-30 minutes now. It's gone stable. You can see the main CPU is not really doing an awful lot. Not sure what these two are doing, but some of the cores are obviously doing a little bit of work, 25-30% there. And the memory situation is it's entirely loaded, which is what we'd expect because we told it to. But in terms of active RAM, we're not really using a lot. In fact, what is that? That is 3.5 gig. So in terms of what it's doing, obviously the topology is quiet and the configurations are non-existent, so it's not really doing any work. So there we go. I'll keep doing these videos as I build the topology and learn the tool a little bit more. I apologize if it's too simplified or feels a little bit awkward, but it is for me too.